Welcome back to our cinematic journey. Today, we're diving into the high-stakes action thriller Mission: Impossible – Rogue Nation from 2015. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie, this fifth installment takes Ethan Hunt and his team through a maze of danger, deception, and non-stop action. Before we dive into the plot, here are 10 key facts about the film's thrilling production and performance. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie, marking his first time directing in the Mission: Impossible series. Tom Cruise performed the iconic plane stunt himself, where he clings to an Airbus A400M at high altitudes. Filming took place across multiple countries, including Austria, Morocco, and the United Kingdom, to capture a global espionage feel. Introduces Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa Faust, who became a recurring character and fan favorite. Grossed over $682 million worldwide, making it one of the top-performing films in the series. Tom Cruise spent extensive time underwater training for the vault scene, which required him to hold his breath for up to 6 minutes. The film's intricate opera scene was shot in Vienna's historic State Opera House, adding authenticity to the setting. Sean Harris stars as Solomon Lane, a menacing villain who would continue to impact the series. McQuarrie became the first director to return for another film in the franchise with Mission: Impossible Fallout. Renowned for its high-octane stunts, the film set a new standard in the action genre. Before we dive into the plot, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel for more cinematic deep dives. The film opens with IMF agent Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, tracking a dangerous shipment of nerve gas intended for the mysterious organization known as the Syndicate. Led by the rogue Solomon Lane, Sean Harris, the Syndicate is a network of ex-operatives from various intelligence agencies, now acting as a highly organized group of assassins and disruptors. Hunt intercepts the shipment in Minsk, thwarting the mission, but he quickly learns this is just the beginning. At an IMF outpost in London, Ethan is captured by the Syndicate. As he is gassed into unconsciousness, he helplessly witnesses the brutal murder of an IMF station operative by Lane, setting a personal vendetta in motion. This haunting scene fuels Ethan's drive for justice, but before he can continue, new obstacles arise. Back in Washington, D.C., CIA Director Alan Hunley, Alec Baldwin, pressures a Senate committee to dissolve the IMF, arguing that their past missions have caused too much collateral damage. His efforts are successful, and the IMF is formally disbanded, with its agents absorbed into the CIA. Forced into a desk job, William Brandt, Jeremy Renner, and Benji Dunn, Simon Pegg, find themselves under strict surveillance, stripping them of their autonomy. Meanwhile, Ethan becomes a fugitive, working covertly to uncover and dismantle the Syndicate. 6 months pass as he evades capture, all while piecing together clues about the Syndicate's operations and its enigmatic leader, Solomon Lane. Determined and undeterred, Ethan's personal mission leads him to a crucial moment of contact. Ethan's investigation takes him to Vienna, where he invites Benji to meet him under the guise of a work trip. Their meeting place, the lavish setting of Turandot at the Vienna State Opera. Ethan believes Lane's agents will attempt to assassinate the Austrian Chancellor during the performance, hoping to stir international chaos. They spot several operatives, including Ilsa Faust, Rebecca Ferguson, an undercover MI6 agent with unclear allegiances. In a tension-filled sequence, Ethan maneuvers through the theater's scaffolding to intercept the assassins. After a dramatic struggle, he prevents the Chancellor's assassination only for the Chancellor to be killed moments later by a car bomb. Ilsa vanishes, leaving Ethan to wonder about her true motives, and the two agents narrowly escape Syndicate operatives swarming the opera house. Back on the run, Ethan and Benji discover that Ilsa is working under MI6 Chief Atlee, Simon McBurney, but she is far from a willing participant. Her allegiance is tested as Lane has tightened his grip on her life, forcing her to carry out missions against her conscience. They head to Casablanca, where she reveals the identity of the elusive Solomon Lane, the mastermind pulling the strings of the Syndicate. Lane's objective: a digital ledger containing the identities of Syndicate operatives hidden within a heavily guarded underwater vault. To gain access, the three infiltrate the facility in one of the film's most heart-stopping stunts. Ethan plunges into the underwater vault, battling swirling currents and deadly obstacles. In a nail-biting sequence, he manages to retrieve the ledger, only for Ilsa to seize it and disappear. Distrust lingers as it becomes evident that MI6 is forcing her to stay within the Syndicate's grasp. The team, joined by Brandt and Luther Stickel, Ving Rhames, regroups in London to decipher the data. When they realize the ledger requires the biometrics of the British Prime Minister, Ethan devises a risky plan to secure access. Lane's men intercept the team, kidnapping Benji and using him as leverage to manipulate Ethan into bringing the decrypted ledger directly to them. Hunley, despite his previous opposition, is inadvertently drawn into the conflict and alerted to the team's whereabouts. In an elaborate ruse, Ethan, Brandt, and Stickel disguise themselves, meeting with the Prime Minister under the pretense of a security briefing. Ethan, impersonating Atlee, obtains the biometrics and reveals that the Syndicate was initially a covert MI6 project that spiraled out of control. The ledger itself holds access to £2.4 billion, a fund that Lane intends to use to further his anarchic agenda. However, instead of playing into Lane's hands, Ethan memorizes the ledger's contents and destroys it, robbing the Syndicate of its resources. Ethan meets with Lane, who has Benji rigged with a bomb as a deadly insurance policy. Lane demands the information, unaware that Ethan has memorized it instead of carrying a physical copy. As Benji's life hangs in the balance, Ethan's resolve to stop Lane intensifies. Lane reluctantly deactivates the bomb, sparing Benji, but unleashes his enforcers on Ethan and his allies in a relentless pursuit through the streets of London. In a final showdown, Ilsa faces off against Lane's brutal henchman, Bone Doctor Winter. The two engage in a brutal hand-to-hand battle, with Ilsa ultimately overpowering him. Ethan lures Lane into a trap, containing him within a bulletproof glass cell. Lane, now on the other side of the bars, faces the same helplessness he inflicted on others, gassed into unconsciousness in poetic justice. In a final turn, Hunley presents himself before the Senate committee. He frames the IMF's actions as a carefully planned mission to expose and dismantle the Syndicate, skillfully convincing the committee to reinstate the IMF. In a symbolic passing of the torch, William Brandt welcomes Hunley as the new IMF secretary, uniting former opponents as allies. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation raises the bar for action and intrigue in the spy genre, offering unforgettable stunts, complex characters, and an intense storyline that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. Christopher McQuarrie crafts a compelling narrative with Tom Cruise leading the way in one of his most physically demanding performances. The film stands as a landmark in the franchise, showcasing a thrilling blend of espionage, betrayal, and redemption. Thank you for joining us on this cinematic journey through Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more explosive journeys through the world of cinema. Until next time, remember, the impossible is only the beginning. See you in the next video.